cars are gonna compete for dominance by smashing into each other at high speeds. It's Junkyard Joust Head On. Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Yonda, and here are the heavyweights. Anything between 41 to 60 grams is considered a heavyweight in Junkyard Joust Head On. We've changed up the rules a little bit for this event. Now cars are gonna get a point for knocking another car off the track, a point for knocking it upside down, and of course a point for knocking it out of bounds. That's a total of 3 points from a hit, plus you can get an additional point for doing damage to your opponent. That's obvious damage, not just paint flakes, and you automatically win your match if the other car is unable to compete any longer. That's all you need to know. Let's get started with the heavyweight division. Speed Racer GRX is going to go up against the Jetsons. Speed Racer sponsored by Judy Collins, and that Jetsons bus is sponsored by Ellis Wertenberger. And the Speed Racer gets out in front, and a good hit there. They are both knocked out of bounds. Speed Racer, oh, I think something came off of the Speed Racer's car. Maybe a hubcap or something? Something came off the side of the car. Jetsons were right on the edge. It was just barely a legal hit. So both cars are going to pick up a point for knocking each other off the track and for knocking each other out of bounds. Speed Racer is going to get an extra point for taking that bus upside down. But as we take a look at the damage check, as you can see, it was a hubcap, and the Jetsons are going to pick up an extra point for that. The Speed Racer team's going to want to tighten up that hubcap a little bit so it doesn't come off again. These are extremely high speeds, of course. You're going to lose a hubcap now and then. And the second hit is a doozy. The Speed Racer tossing the bus off the track, stabbing the front of the car with that pointed end, flipping all the way around, but managing to stay on the track. And the GRX is going to pick up 2 points, one for knocking him off the track and one for getting that bus sideways. So that's going to break that tie and put Speed Racer ahead by 2 points, 5-3. So here we go, final round between the so-called fastest car and the Jetsons bus. Ooh, a nasty collision there, and the Speed Racer has definitely broken off part of the front bumper of that bus. Is lying there on the track. He drives right over it as he heads back up for a second tap. That was a devastating hit, and that is going to give Speed Racer the win. Just look at that hit. The pointed front of that car is a devastating weapon, especially at this high of a speed. Damage check reveals the bus coming out of this in bad shape. Look at all those dents in the front, plus a broken bumper. And the GRX takes this match 7 points to 3. Speed Racer's moving on to the semifinals, and we are moving on to the second match. It's going to be Screamin' Holler, sponsored by Emo Dingo, and Silver Bullet, sponsored by Swedenborg Smorgasbord. Silver Bullet, of course, you've seen in Junkyard Joust, a very menacing car. And the first hit is a nice one. Screamin' Holler getting the better of it here. Nobody getting knocked off the track, but Silver Bullet is pushed back out of bounds by Screamin' Holler. Both vehicles weigh 55 grams, so they're evenly matched weight-wise. Screamin' Holler just getting the better of Silver Bullet right there and getting a point for knocking him out of bounds, and that is the only point awarded this round. Screamin' Holler's got a couple of dents and some paint flakes, but nothing major, nothing that's going to give Silver Bullet any points. Silver Bullet looks fine, except for the paint from the other car that's on the front of his car. And here we go again, round 2. And Screamin' Holler not as lucky this time, getting tossed off the track by Silver Bullet and thrown upside down. Silver Bullet also coming off the track, but keeping it upright. That's going to be a point for Silver Bullet for knocking him off the track and a point for making him go upside down. Screamin' Holler's still going to get his own point for knocking the Bullet off the track, and that is going to take us to a tie, 2-2. Both of these cars are very equally matched, but it is going to come down to this final hit. Who gets the win? A solid hit in the center of the track, and Silver Bullet gets the best of it this time. Screamin' Holler pushed back, goes sideways, tips over, and lands out of bounds. And Silver Bullet is going to take away a bunch of points on this one. 3 points total, and victory over Screamin' Holler. Points for damage are going to be irrelevant here, but it's fun to take a look at what happened. A lot of paint on the front of Silver Bullet right there. And Screamin' Holler, several big dents in the front of that car. I think the fender's actually kind of pushed up against the tire. In any case, Silver Bullet 4 to Screamin' Holler's 2. And the victor moving on to the semifinals. Up next, we've got the 69 Dodge Charger Daytona, sponsored by Chome, and the Rottweiler, sponsored by Swedenborg Smorgasbord. 44 grams to 47 grams. A nice hit there. Both cars go tumbling off the track, flipping over and over. The Rottweiler lands upside down, and so does the Dodge Charger. Both of them narrowly avoiding going past the hay bales, and man, the Daytona just barely stayed in bounds. That's going to be 2 points for each of them for knocking each other off the track and knocking each other upside down. The Charger smacking the Rottweiler in his lower jaw, but it does not break off any teeth, lucky for the Rottweiler. We'll do a quick damage check anyway, a little worse for the wear on the front left side of the Daytona, some paint missing. And there's the paint on the front of the teeth of the Rottweiler. Took a big bite out of that car. If you're wondering why the Rottweiler's front tires look so beat up, they had to be carved down a little bit so they could fit on the track. He's a big dog. Powerful hit right there. The Charger knocks Rottweiler off the track and maybe out of bounds. I can't really tell from this perspective. That was a nice hit. A lot of bouncing back, but the Charger manages to keep it together. Rottweiler flipping and spinning and landing right at the edge, and I think he might be just over the line. Taking a look at the above shot, a nice hit right in the center, and the Rottweiler has one wheel over the edge. That is going to give the Charger the point for out of bounds. So the Dodge Charger is going to pick up 3 points on that hit. It was a nice one, 5-2 now. Rottweiler's got his work cut out for him as we head into the final hit, and it's a nice one. Both cars are tossed out of bounds. Very clean toss out of bounds. The Charger recovers over on the left, and the Rottweiler cannot recover. Not a super stable car, unfortunately. And they're both going to pick up some points, but the Charger is going to come out ahead 8-4. Looks like the Charger lost some more paint on the other side of the front of his car, but he survived that dog attack, and the Rottweiler is done. Solid win there for the Charger Daytona. Less weight, but still managed to take that Rottweiler out just because of the shape of his car. The Daytona is going to face off against Speed Racer in the semifinals, and Silver Bullet is going to face off against one of these two. Express Lane, sponsored by Wayland Enterprises International, and Forklift, sponsored by Wolfel Fiber Art. Forklift, of course, you remember from Junkyard Joust. You might even remember Express Lane, also been in Junkyard Joust, but Forklift developed a bit of a name for himself. 43 to 41 grams. Here we go. A nice hit right in the center, and Express Lane gets the advantage of Forklift in that hit. They both get forced off the track just because of the sheer impact of it, but Express Lane lands right side up after multiple flips. Forklift cannot manage that, and now it's going to be 2-1 in favor of Express Lane. Let's see if there's any damage. Express Lane, nothing. Pretty solid front of the car there. Only danger would be any of those wheels getting damaged. And Forklift, of course, has those two forks, which are a pretty good protection. Both cars are looking good, so let's head out for our second hit. And the impact stops both vehicles almost dead right on the right-hand side of the track. Express Lane does a bunch of flipping this time, doesn't go off the track, but cannot stay upright. Forklift, nice and solid right there, does not go out of bounds, and the impact didn't happen out of bounds, so that's going to count. Forklift knocked Express Lane upside down, so he's going to get a point for that, and it's going to take it up to 2-2. This is a tie match as we head into the third and final hit. Again, Express Lane getting down the track faster, but it doesn't matter. Forklift forks Express Lane off the track, but the impact was hard enough that it pushed Forklift way back, and Forklift keeps rolling almost to the point, I think, of being out of bounds. So Express Lane rolls over but doesn't go out of bounds, and Forklift just barely, his forks have gone out of bounds. That's going to give a point to Express Lane, but luckily for Forklift, it doesn't matter. He knocked Express Lane off the track and upside down. 2 points for Forklift, and Forklift is going to barely squeak by with a victory on this collision. 4-3 in favor of Forklift. He'll move on to face Silver Bullet in the semifinals, which start now. We're not stopping until we get a final winner in this match. First up, we're going to see Speed Racer face off against the Daytona. Speed Racer's got a weight advantage, but it's going to be more about how the front of these cars interact when they hit. And there was a big interaction there. It was so big, I don't even know where the Charger went. Went out of the county, I think. He goes spiraling off into the distance. We'll try to get a shot of where he landed. He landed right side up somehow. Unbelievable. Must have hit the crates and fell back down. That is truly astounding. Incredible recovery. Speed Racer's gonna get a point for knocking him out of bounds and one for off the track. Charger's gonna get a point for knocking Speed Racer upside down and out of bounds. We've got a tie going, folks. Damage check, Speed Racer looking good. No hubcaps came off this time. And the Charger still looks good. Maybe a little dent there somewhere in the middle, but nothing major. Here we go on our second hit. Let's see if Speed Racer can keep it on the track at all. And no, he can't. Wow, that car just flew another mile away from the track. He better start driving back here so he can get here in time for the third hit. And it looks like Speed Racer lost a hubcap again. Maybe they should have thought about maybe not putting that back on for this match. That's going to be an easy point for the Charger. The Charger somehow managed to land right side up yet again. So both cars are going to start off with 2 points each for what they did to their opponents. That's going to continue the tie. However, as you can see in the damage report, that hubcap came off again, and that's going to count as a point for the Charger. Charger not damaged at all from that, despite being hurled a mile in the air. And now the Charger's got a 1-point lead as we go into the final hit. Again, the Dodge goes flying, this time all the way over into the junkyard. Speed Racer stays on the track and stays right in the middle. The Dodge just hurled over into the junkyard, and it looks like maybe he's right side up over there, but I'm not sure it matters. If the point of impact was legal, Speed Racer's gonna come away with enough points to win this match. But that is the big question. Were they in bounds when they collided? Let's take a look at the overhead shot, and oh man, I don't even know. It's too close to call. The officials are saying that that was a legal hit. I think that's pretty controversial. I'm really not sure that they were in bounds. It was honestly too close for me to call. Guess I'm glad I'm not one of the officials. And since that was a legal hit, that's gonna give GRX 2 points and give him the victory, 6-5. A close victory right there for Speed Racer. But I think fans of the Charger are gonna have a lot to say after this match about that call and whether that impact was indeed in bounds. Hopefully this next match won't be quite as contentious. Silver Bullet versus Forklift. You know him, you love him. This is gonna be an interesting fight. 55 grams to 43 grams. Here we go. Ooh, Forklift takes the Dodge Charger route and goes flying off into the distance, but we can see where Forklift landed at least this time. Just a nasty hit there by the Bullet as Forklift goes careening off the front and goes flying up in the air and lands sideways over by the crates. I don't know if Forklift can get those forks any lower, but he might want to think about it. He's still getting a couple points this round, but Silver Bullet is going to get 3 points. Forklift couldn't quite get him off the track, but did make him go out of bounds and upside down. Damage check reveals Forklift is still in great shape despite that massive jump, and Silver Bullet still got a little bit of paint on the front from his previous match. No damage there though. Oh man, look at Forklift just float through the air there, and he can't quite land it. Ends up sideways over by the tires. And that was such a massive hit that both cars end up upside down and not right side up, so they're both gonna get 3 points, and that's gonna take our score to 6-5, still in favor of Bullet, but just barely. If Forklift can find some way to get Bullet off the track and stay on himself, he still might have a chance in this match. Big hit right in the middle, and Forklift could not pull it off. Flies through the air. It's great to see. It looks amazing, but it is not gonna get Forklift a victory. Forklift landing sideways, and that's gonna give Silver Bullet an additional point. Silver Bullet fell off the track, but managed to stay in bounds, and that is gonna be enough to end this match. 9-7, a close one, but Silver Bullet pulls it off. And he's gonna head into the final match against Speed Racer Fastest Car. Silver Bullet with a 6-gram weight advantage, and is the front of his car a little bit lower than Speed Racer's? Oh boy. Speed Racer's gonna be taken to the air, and that's exactly what happened. Speed Racer goes flying up in the air over the billboard and lands somewhere over by the Tool Time trailer. See if we can get a shot of that and see what happened to him. Meanwhile, Silver Bullet steadying himself out on the track. He is gonna do well this time. Almost came off the track. It was close, but he steadies himself and backs down into the center of the track. And there we've got a shot of Speed Racer. I don't know how he ended up underneath that trailer, but somehow he did manage to make a recovery. So Silver Bullet's only coming out of this with 2 points, one for knocking him off the track and one for knocking him out of bounds. Speed Racer might want to slow down a little bit in this next run and not be the fastest car, maybe try to stay in bounds on this next run. I don't know how he's going to stay in this match otherwise. Taking a look at the damage, Speed Racer, a little bit of paint removed from the front, still amazingly not much damage. These two cars are tough. Here we go, run number 2. And it was nearly a repeat of the first run. Speed Racer goes arcing through the air, twirling. If there were points for style, Speed Racer would have gotten some for that jump. Didn't land it this time, unfortunately, but he did manage to get Silver Bullet out of bounds. So that is going to be 2 points for Speed Racer, 3 more for Silver Bullet. He's taking a healthy lead here, 5-2, but at least Speed Racer put a couple points on the board. It's not going to be a complete blowout. And I think we know what's going to happen on this next run. Yep, there goes the Speed Racer. I think he landed on the moon that time. Silver Bullet making a great recovery yet again and proving himself a true champion of this heavyweight match. I think I'm gonna have to get some sort of netting or something to stop these cars from flying into neighboring counties. So Silver Bullet picks up 3 points and dominates Speed Racer in the final 8-2. And your winner this evening, it's Silver Bullet, the new heavyweight champion of Junkyard Joust. Head on. Should be interesting to see if the next champion of the heavyweight division is able to take Silver Bullet down. And who knows, maybe we'll even have the middleweight and the heavyweight go head-to-head, just as a friendly competition. Be fun to see Evil Weevil take on Silver Bullet, wouldn't it? Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment. That'll help you see future releases of Junkyard Joust. We've got more head-on matches coming soon: heavyweight, middleweight, lightweight, and super heavyweight. And if you'd like to sponsor a car for yourself or a loved one, please consider becoming a patron. Thanks to all my patrons for making this possible, and I'll see you next time on Junkyard Joust.